People ask me what I've done. I'm not ashamed to tell them I had weight loss surgery. I know a few co-workers that won't talk about it. They feel embarrassed, like they took the shortcut, and it's not a shortcut. It's a life-saving procedure, and that's how I see it.
John Caldwell was one of Garden State's scores of success stories. He was a college football star who blew out his knee and began gaining weight in school, all the way up to 400 pounds. John finally called Garden State Bariatrics' Milburn office, and that call changed his life.
Well, I went into the surgery that morning that they weighed me. I was 400 pounds, exactly scale was jumping back from 401 to 400. So that was that morning. Today, actually, when I got out of the shower tonight, I went on the scale and it read 241 pounds.
So you've lost 150, 160 pounds?
About 159. The most at one point that I lost was 172.
John has actually gained about 15 pounds from his low, but he's not worried because it's all muscle. And I can tell you, in person, John looks fantastic, muscular, in shape. He works out every day now. Looks like he could run a 4.5 40 again.
I'm so happy. I'm 100% happy, believe me. He don't snore. He's very active now. He's not losing his breath. It's a lot of good things that came out of it. He eats good, you know, and I'm also, I was worried about his family history. You know, his mother has passed away from having complications in her health and everything, so I always kept that in mind. So I feel better that he took that surgery very serious and is doing what he has to do to live a long life.
John and Cynthia were in the crowd of hundreds at Garden State's annual holiday party. Portia Beckwith was there, doing the electric slide. Karen Sautner was there, enjoying a wonderful night out with her husband and friends. Karen and Portia were among 4 women who met us one night at Garden State Bariatrics' Milburn office. 25-year-old Liv Aruda of Roselle used to be 270 pounds. On this night, she was 145. She lost 125 pounds after her bariatric surgery. Portia Beckwith of Newark, 56 years old. She once weighed 288 pounds. When we met her, she weighed 176, 112 pounds lost. Karen's sister, April Sinnott, went from 426 to 174. She's lost 252 pounds since her bariatric surgery at Garden State. These 4 women have lost over 600 pounds between them since they had their procedures, since they changed their lives. They are all still losing. Think about that. One of the things that I'd like to start off with is the question that many viewers might have. What got you here? There are people watching this program right now thinking about calling Dr. Billoff, but they won't do it. There was a moment when you all did. What happened? What drove you to call?
I was in the backyard playing with my nephew, running around the yard, and we were playing tag, and it was to a point where I couldn't run after him, and that's when I said, I got to do something.
Back in 2001, when I was first pregnant with my first child, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it just kept getting worse, and I figured I had to do something before I wasn't around to see my children grow. And that's after my sister, April, came to Dr. Billoff. That's when I decided I was going to do the same.
What brought me here was when my doctor told me that I was borderline diabetic, and that's something that I did not want to be a diabetic. And then the weight, you know, I wasn't comfortable, I wasn't happy, it was depressing to be as large as I was.
It was about summer of 2008. I went away, I went to Miami for the weekend, and I took a lot of pictures. And when I came back, I started looking at the pictures, and it hit me. I hadn't taken that many pictures in a while, and it finally hit me, and I started feeling extremely uncomfortable with myself at that point. That's when I looked for Dr. Billoff.
Liv had a lap band procedure. Portia, Karen, and April all had gastric bypass. Insurance paid for the procedures. The weight loss has been dramatic. The diabetes is gone. And they are thrilled with what Garden State Bariatrics has helped them do for themselves.
Having the little kids They are always on the go. And it was very tough to keep up with them, as April knows. They're very active boys that I have, and it was very tough. It was very hard keeping up with them. And this summer, since my surgery, has been like the best summer ever. We've been going and doing a lot of traveling, and you know, like the water parks that I would just sit and watch everybody. Now I was going and doing.
Able to get in all the rides.
Yes, the water slides and even amusement parks, you know, getting on the rides. When my 6-year-old wanted mommy to go on the roller coaster, and I was like, I had to give him a reason why I couldn't go without, you know. And now this time, just recently, a couple weeks ago, he asked me to go on a roller coaster, and I was like, okay, I'm going. And I did. And it was great. I had a blast.
Now I feel like I'm in my age. I'm 25. I'm living, you know, I'm doing what a 25-year-old's supposed to be doing, and that's been great.
I thought I was very happy, but since losing the weight, oh my gosh, everything has changed. It's so much for the better. I can walk. I can literally. I was having problems with my legs, so just like you. Going up steps, I can run up steps now. I can take walks in the park all the way around and just want to run. I went on to Florida. I went on the amusement rides. I went on a roller coaster that went on upside down 7 times, twice in a row. I went on all the roller coasters, which is like, oh my God. I went on every ride there was. I used to have to go and use a scooter throughout the parks just because I couldn't walk. Now I just can do anything, and everything has just changed, and I feel like I'm 25 instead of going on 42, 43 there, and it's fantastic. Couldn't be better. Life is good.
If life is not good for you because of your weight, call Garden State Bariatrics now. Most insurances cover bariatric procedures. Garden State's team are experts at checking your insurance for you. Give them your card, they will take care of it. Don't wait. Many people wait much longer than they should. We listened in as a potential patient with some health issues wondered if he was heavy enough for bariatric procedures. Joe's body mass index is nearing the danger zone. What is your BMI? You can check it easily.
The criteria for weight loss surgery are pretty straightforward. It's based on something called body mass index. The abbreviation you may see is BMI. If your BMI is above 40, that's 40, then you're a candidate for surgery regardless of whether or not, whatever your medical condition is. If your BMI is less than 35, then you're not a candidate for surgery, again, regardless of your medical conditions. And between 35 and 40 is a bit of a gray zone where it actually depends on your medical condition, and you're only a candidate if you have medical problems such as diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, heart disease, etc. The BMI calculations are complicated, but if you go to my website or really any bariatric website, you just type in your height, type in your weight, and the website will tell you what your BMI is.
Joe is a good example of a patient who's not waiting too long. He wants to improve his health now before it gets really serious. And he let us eavesdrop on his consultation.
Well, looking at your chart, your BMI is 39, but if we look closer at your chart, you have some other comorbidities, other medical problems that would kind of push us one way or the other based on the type of surgery that we think would be good for you. The fact that you have diabetes and you also have high blood pressure, and I suspect you might even have some underlying heart disease that hasn't been found yet, I think the gastric bypass might actually help you.
I mean, one of the reasons why I'm here is just to try and define or try and decipher which is the right way to go.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And based on the options that we have, the one that I think would be best suited for you, although you aren't morbidly overweight, you do have a higher BMI.
Joe, I know you had met with Dr. Decision, and he and I also discussed your case, and as I think you told you, your body mass index is 39, but with your medical conditions, that makes you a candidate for surgery. In particular, your diabetes has me concerned about, your future medical problems. Even though you seem to be doing okay right now, diabetes can cause a lot of problems in the future. So given all that, I think the best treatment for you would probably be, the bypass. As we discussed, and you discussed with Dr. Decision, that is really your best option for resolving and really curing your diabetes. You haven't had it that long, and in someone like you, the bypass, I can tell you, 98, 99% of the time, your diabetes will be gone within several weeks after this operation.
The diabetes will be gone. Joe will have a new lease on life, like so many others have. Call Garden State Bariatrics in Milburn or Bayville for a consultation now. Avoid the negativity that so many overweight people face every day whenever the subject of weight arises. Listen to the people who really know all about it.
You can't please anybody, so only do this to please yourself. Don't listen to anybody else. Just turn it off, because it's not about them. And at the end of the day, it's your health, it's your body, it's your life.
Do it. Do it. Change your life. Why should you stay in the house? Why should you live in the house? Do it. Come out. Shop. Live. Get a haircut. Look pretty. Put lipstick. Put earrings. You don't have a boyfriend, you'll find one. Come out.
I say do it. It changed my life. It saved my life. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, had high blood pressure, diabetic. I was taking 3 shots of insulin a day. And all the little in-between problems that you have with being overweight. I have diabetic neuropathy. And ever since I came out the hospital, I haven't had to take any insulin. I'm off all my medications. So I highly recommend it.
You can't explain it, and I can't know what to say to get it across to people. Get off the couch, make the phone call, do it. Look at this. I mean, I'm still not a bathing beauty. I'm never going to be 35 again or 25. I don't want to be. I want to be 65 and healthy.
The day I left the hospital, Valentine's Day 2009, I was 486.
Still pains you to say that, doesn't it?
I have it tattooed on my foot so I never forget. I'm never going back there, and every time I look down at the scale, I see that 486, and it reminds me that's never happening again. When you look in the mirror every day, I look in the mirror at myself every day, and I'm like, oh my God. I carry my before picture around with me, just because people don't believe me that I was that heavy. I have to carry that picture around, and besides the fact people don't recognize me. It's not as scary as you think it is.
This surgery, you can change your life. Look at me. It's amazing. I just can't say enough. My head is there. It's changed my head. It's changed everything.
So many of us are living such a great life now. We're not sitting home depressed and upset, and our health isn't out of control anymore. We're living life.
It's time. Look in the mirror. Don't feel guilty about making the call. You've tried to lose weight over and over again, and it simply hasn't worked. Bariatric surgery could be the answer for you. Dance with your babies again. Dance with your friends. Change your life. Make the call to Garden State Bariatrics today. Garden State Bariatrics. Reclaim your health. Reclaim your body. Renew your life. For World Business Watch, I'm Rich Noonan. Thanks so much for joining us.